Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Second Cup of Coffee. Pastor Tom with you, week 3 of our series. Finish what I've said. Finish what I've said. Mary got a prophetic word. She got a visitation by the Holy Spirit. She got pregnant. She gave birth. And we walked through those in the last 2 weeks. This week, we're going to talk about what I do with the information. Okay? Not only did she get revelation, or what I do with the revelation, let's say that. She got revelation from the angel, but not only him, the shepherds show up. Because they get this concert, which we talked about last week, on the side of the hill. They show up and they're like, hey, we heard from some angels, this is the Messiah, that this is the Son of God. And it seems to indicate they went around and told some folks, so we don't know how many people are coming in and out of that manger. We don't know what's going on or at that time. But it says this of Mary in verse 19, Luke 2:19, but Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. When God calls you to birth a purpose, again, it doesn't matter if it's not when you think, where you think, or how you think. You need to birth what God asks you to birth when He asks you to birth it. You begin, then we talked about the following week, focusing on the practicals, right? But there's a part where you need to reserve a part, not of your belief, but of your heart, to hold the promises for not what just is now, but for what is to come. Why is that important? Because, and I think this is an easy example. One of the toughest days or times of the year is December 25th come about 11 o'clock. Because all the presents are open, everything, all the excitement's done, all of the charm of Christmas is kind of off in regards to, oh, we come down the tree and the lights and the presents they're all wrapped and perfect and, all of that stuff. When all of that's done, I don't know about you, but there's kind of a lull, a little bit of a depression. And that is going back to the day-to-day, right? Well, maybe it's not for you that day, okay? I don't want to kill Christmas. I'm not like a Grinch, all right? But December 26th, let's say that. What I couldn't stand when I worked in my secular job was we always had to go back to work on the next day after Christmas. So if Christmas is on a Tuesday, we're at work on Wednesday. A lot of people take off in that time, but if you didn't have time off, you're back on work on Wednesday. And it just, I don't know, it's a little put a pin in my balloon, if I could say that. And there's like a law. It's like, man, we're just going back to the mundane. I got to tell you that when you're walking to the promises of God, there's a lot of mundane. There is a lot of day-to-day. That's why I talked to you last week about doing the practical, because you need to be earthly minded, but you need to be grounded on the earth, because you got to make money. You got to take care of a house. You got to take care of children. You got to do your job well. You got to serve in the church. And there's a lot of practical things that go on while you're moving towards your promise. Now, Mary would get little glimpses along the way. When they went to circumcise Jesus, she had 2 people basically prophesy over her and prophesy over her son. When 2 years into his life, the wise men show up, or the kings from the east show up, right? And so that's another, and God will have those invasions, but good invasions, right? He'll come in just like He did with the angelic announcement to her, but there's a lot of day-to-day. So what keeps me going in the day-to-day? What I've reserved in my heart. These promises, who my son is going to be. Next week, we're going to have a wonderful conversation with Lauren Gonzalez, who has 5 adult children, and we're going to talk about the practicals of being a mother walking kids towards their promise. And I'm telling you, your children, whether they're physical or spiritual, or the person that you're pouring your life into as a you're discipling for Jesus Christ and growing in the relationship for Christ, I have to tell you, they're a gift. But the gift you see today is not the gift that's in your heart. And so sometimes it can get discouraging. Are we ever going to get there? Are they ever going to get there? Are they ever going to get to the fullness? Especially if they make a mistake or they do the wrong thing and go, or you're like, one more time around the mountain. I get all of that, but I have to tell you, keep pondering in your heart what He said and what you've had confirmed. How do these shepherds know where to find Him? How do they know what He's going to be laying in a manger and wrapped in swaddling clothes? Why? They heard it from an angel. How did you, Mary, get pregnant? You heard it from an angel and the Holy Spirit came upon you. Don't lose your faith, especially now in this season of Christmas. Hold on to it with both hands. Get in your prayer closet and just remind yourself and speak to God and say, God, these are the promises that you said over them, and I'm trusting you for them. May you have a really merry, merry, merry Christmas, and may God meet you, especially if you're in places of discouragement, because he's not done yet. Let him fulfill his promises. It may not be where you think, when you think, or how you think, but that's why he says in Proverbs 3, don't lean on our own understanding. He works outside of our understanding to bring about and to do his good will. So we're grateful for that. Grateful for you. And if this means something to you, please share it. Find us on our app, our Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, or wherever. We are so appreciative that you would watch. And again, Merry Christmas.